How's it going? This is Hoiman, and today we're taking a look at the S.H.Figuarts Cure Lemonade figure. So you have a nice window to see the figure, and it has this really nice flowery pattern as well. And then the whole box is a nice colour scheme, matches well with the character. The window continues onto the top, and then you just have the character's name on both sides, and then legal stuff for the bottom. And in the back you have some nice pictures of the figure, and also advertises other figures in the line. And then to open the figure, you just open the side flap, and then you just remove the top cover. And there's the figure all together with her accessories. So here's the actual figure, and this is actually one of the more earlier figures in the line. So although this figure is over a decade old now, the sculpt and some joints can look a bit dated, but I still feel that it's still a pretty nice looking figure overall. Still a lot of detail where the areas are, and then overall it's a nice representation of the character. So for the clothes, there's a lot of nice sculpting and nice details, and the paintwork is very clean for the most part. And then moving on to the face, I feel that they really captured the likeness of the character. Looks just like her from various angles, and then the eyes are just really nicely painted on. And then the hair as well is very nicely sculpted with the swirls. You can see all the strands and folds in the hair on the back. And then the pigtails themselves are softer material, but they look very striking from the figure. So for articulation, the neck is on a double ball joint, so she can look down not a whole lot, about that much. Look up that much. Tilt her head side to side and also twist. And then the pigtails are on ball joints as well, so you can move those about however you want. Adds a lot of dynamic to her poses. The shoulder is on a ball joint, but it can't really move a whole lot that much. But it is on a hinge, so you can bring her arm out to the side and then bring her arm forward, but it is at an angle due to the sculpt of the ribbon. That's kind of the same going back as well. And then you can bicep swivel, as well as a single jointed elbow, and then she has ball jointed wrists. And then the torso is on a double ball joint, so she can lean forward about that much, lean back that much, which is quite a bit, tilt side to side and also twist. And then the skirt pieces themselves are kind of a softer material, and this piece is actually a floating piece, so it doesn't really hinder too much articulation. And then the hips are on an old style hip joint, so you can bring her leg out about that far to the side. Kick forward that much, but it is a bit restricting to the skirt. And that's the same going back as well. She does have the thigh swivel, and then also the single jointed knee. And because it's an old joint, it does look a bit odd. And then she's got a ball jointed ankle, so go back about that much. Forward that much, can swivel as well as twist. So although she's a really old figure, very early in the line, she still has most of the articulation you'd expect the Figuarts to have. But due to some sculpt and some old choices in the joints, she is a bit restricting in some areas. But for the most part, she still gets a lot of range of motion. That's the figure. Let's take a look at the accessories. So for faces, she comes with a standard happy smiling face, and then she also comes with an angry shouting face. And this is my main gripe with the figure, is that changing the head, you have to remove the whole head and then remove the pigtails to replace. But I find with my figure, it's really difficult to remove the pigtails, and no matter how hard I try, I can't seem to take them out, and I'm also in fear that I might break these as well, so I tend to just leave it on. She comes with a pair of fists, 2 open palmed hands, 1 hand to hold the sword, and then you got the sword itself. It's nicely sculpted, a lot of detail, There's a nice shading of pink to white, and the blade itself, it's a white which blends into a yellow, which looks nice, and the blade itself is pretty flexible, so you don't have to worry about it breaking. So my final thoughts are, if you're a huge fan of this character or the show itself, then I highly recommend this figure. But because it is an old figure, the joints and sculpt is a bit outdated and some proportions can look a bit off as well. But overall, I'd say this is a very well designed figure and there's a very good representation of the character. My only gripe is that you can't really remove the pigtails that safely in fear of damaging them. But other than that, it's a very nice looking figure overall. But that's my review. Thank you for watching and enjoy some pictures.